All right, so it's going to be below freezing for the next few days, so we're going to go ahead and winterize our RV. We have a 2023 Airstream Flying Cloud. It does have the bypass pump on the inside, so we're just going to need 2 gallons of antifreeze for this. First, we're going to go ahead and we're going to empty out the low point drains. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is empty out our freshwater tank. So there's a little nozzle in between the tires on the driver's side, and we're just going to turn that so it's pointed out. And you can see there's still some water left in there, so we're going to go ahead and let that drain. Next thing we're going to do is empty the low point drains, which are both underneath the front tire on the driver's side. So we'll get underneath there, and I'll show you where those are at. So you can see here, these two nozzles there are the low point drains. And right now they're kind of pointed towards the back of the RV. So you just want to take those and kind of point them straight. And you can see that we've already got most of the water out of the freshwater drain, so wasn't much pressure built up in there. Sometimes there can be like a lot of water. It'll take a few minutes to drain out. Next thing we're gonna do is empty out the hot water heater. So on every Airstream, it's gonna be different. Some actually have a drain that you'll have to screw open and let it drain out. But you want to find this little kind of trigger right there and just pull that down and make sure that there's no water in there that needs to come out. In this case, there's not. A lot of times you will get a lot of water coming out there. And then while we've got this open, the next thing you want to do is just go ahead and flip the hot water heater off, because we're going to be putting antifreeze in the system, and we don't want any antifreeze to be running through the hot water heater because that could ruin it. All right. And last thing to do before we go inside is just make sure that the low point drains on the other side are plugged up, because you don't want your antifreeze running out when we put that through the system inside. The next thing we're going to do is run antifreeze through the pipes. So you want to come over here underneath your wardrobe here, and this little panel actually pops open. All right, so there's two things we're going to be doing in here, and the first is we're going to be draining out the pump, which is this thing right here. And all you're going to do is you're going to make sure you have like a towel or something down here to catch the water, and you're just going to unscrew this and let that drain out. And then the next thing we're going to do is, if you look back in here, you can see this little knob right here. And right now it's pointed sideways, kind of going right into the pump. And what you want to do is make sure that's pointed towards this clear tube. That is the winterization bypass. And if you look, there should be a card in here somewhere that kind of gives you like a little bit of a clue of what you want to look like. All right, next thing you want to do is, I didn't mention this before, make sure you get RV safe antifreeze. It's non-toxic, and you don't want to be running regular antifreeze through your pipes. So grab that tube that we talked about earlier and just stick it directly into the bottle of antifreeze, and make sure it goes all the way down to the bottom. You may need to have somebody stand over here and hold this. And the next thing we're going to do is just come on over here to the pump and flip the pump on. And then you're just going to go to each sink or opening, and you're just going to run the faucet until you see pink come out. So we'll do cold first. All right, there's the pink. So just let that run for a little bit. And then you want to do hot as well. We're going to come in and do the same thing in the shower. All right, and make sure, it's easy to forget, but you want to make sure you come through too and do your outdoor shower. So we'll run the cold. Good. And the hot. All right. All right, the last thing we want to do is just take what's left of your antifreeze if you want, and just pour it down the sink and in the toilet to fill up the gray and black tanks a little. And then make sure you go back through with a towel or something and wipe out the antifreeze, especially in the shower, because if you leave that in there for too long, it can end up staining. And I think that's it. You should be good to go. Just make sure everything is locked up real well. You don't leave any like food or anything in the RV that could freeze, or you'd be getting into by mice or critters or anything else like that. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching.